Hello guys, welcome back to another reaction video here on Our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch episode 13 of Baraou no Souretsu, Requiem of the Rose King. But before starting this video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me and keep going on following me in this great adventure. Okay, in the previous episode of 2 weeks ago, something bad happened. Henry died because he was killed by Richard, and Richard decided to marry Anne. Let's see what's going to happen now. From now on, are you ready to join me with this? Check it out. Oh, she already grew, yeah. No. No. Oh my. Yeah. Everything is fake here. From the beginning. I mean, it's hilarious that they say banzai and we are in England. Wow, he keeps drinking, eh? As always. Because from that moment he started drinking, I guess. They are starting fighting once again as brothers, I guess. We don't see Isabel, yeah. Wow. Stop it. I agree with Anna, who wanted to go away. Oh, now if the cake is predicting a bad future, you're going to see. It's a circle. What? Oh! As soon as he said the G, then there was blood. The wine represents blood. That means, as I told you, something bad is about to happen between the two brothers. Buckingham, yeah. Exactly, it's the future of George, I guess. Now you did that. You should have told him the truth. Oh my, look, Buckingham sounds like a new Warwick. Oh, as always, we know. We know that he had lots of mistresses. Oh, Jane. Oh, she's a witch. Such as... exactly! That represents blood, so once again the House of York is going to find lots of troubles. Yeah, because he is the boy she had from the other Edward. Exactly. They called him Edward. Exactly. He has even the same hair structure. Oh yeah. Ah, dear Isabel, you were venting yourself in front of others, but look at your condition right now. And the more you keep drinking. There, here we go! I mean... she's a new Margaret, I mean. In fact, Isabel is one of the worst, in my opinion. Oh my! So the witch is working for her. Oh my! What the F? This is like a voodoo practice. So she sent a spell on them? Yes! She's going to discover that he cheated on her. Eh! Uh, this is to repay you for what... here she is. I mean, this is how to repay what you did since the beginning, because you were the first one to trick Edward, so... Don't be so sure of that, Elizabeth. I have a doubt about this too. No, thank you. No, Edward, you're making for the second time the mistake. Please don't drink it, Richard. It's becoming an orge. Oh, come on, Edward. Look the level you reached. No, come on. No, 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 no. Please, Richard, don't. No, definitely not. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Please, Richard, rebel. Yeah. Exactly, this is something bad, disgusting. Exactly, it's your brother and he lost his mind because of a leisure. Don't do the same. In this case, I want to thank Buckingham. Catsby, thank you for being here. No, it's because of that witch. Yeah, exactly. Emma, does this to protect you. Ugh, my... Ah, Edward. How kings can be... I mean, they can be tricked so easily, and in this way they are going to lose everything. No, that's blood, Edward. I don't think that that's just wine. Elizabeth is already smart enough to understand everything because she did that since the beginning too, so... Good job, Richard! Okay, it's a witch for real. Yeah, it's a voodoo doll. Eh, exactly. You! No, don't take that! I mean, Isabel, you were tricked too? But there was... I was a G. George! No. No, he indirectly wanted to kill... I mean, he killed her! Because the witch gave this potion. No, Richard! No! No, Richard, you're making a mistake right now. Yeah. No, Richard, please don't make a mistake and don't be tricked by this F witch. Oh. Oh no. No, no, don't. Say, you wanted to enjoy life by killing others. By creating a mess inside of a family, royal family. No, Richard, I hope you do that to prevent his death. Yes. No, I think Richard has another plan too. No, you should be grateful because Gatsby is so great. But it was without blood, so... Okay guys, things are getting complicated here and I have never expected to find this sort of reality in this episode. But anyway, let's go step by step. First of all, Richard, for what I saw at the end of the episode, I really hope that he or she is having another plan to fulfill, because I don't think that he or she is swearing to Buckingham so easily. I mean, even the fact that he wants to arrest George, I think that she wants to arrest him because it's a way to protect him somehow. I mean, before arresting him, I think that Richard wants to talk to him, wants an explanation from everything that is happening. Because this witch Jane that is appearing in this story makes you understand that everything is tricked by a female character. As I was telling you since the beginning of this story, here the female characters are all bad except for Anne. This Jane wants to infiltrate inside this royal family to destroy it, to put it simply, because they don't accept Edward as a king and they want to kill him. And at the same time, George is the culprit, I mean, on the surface, the culprit, because it seems as if he killed even Isabel, but of course George didn't understand that that was not her medicine, but even Isabel was tricked by this witch, and at the end of the day, her life was gone so easily, to be honest. We saw in the first part of this story that Isabel was supposed to conquer her goal to become the queen, and she would have done everything in her power to do so. But in this second part, she's already gone. And that was really fast, to be honest, because I thought that she would have gone ahead with her project to become the queen, to be what she really wanted to be since day one. But is this maybe a way to revenge all that happened in her life? That means, if you remember, when she was meeting the witch, she was thinking in the meantime, look, for you, George, I got rid of my father, I went against him, and then I got rid of my sister too. So was this a way to repair everything bad that she did, to be killed by him, so he is going to be cursed forever for this murder that he committed inside the York family? I don't know, but at this point we understand from this story that female characters are able to do everything, even the impossible. The most important thing is that they wanted to rule somehow. And talking about Elizabeth, look, this is karma, because at the beginning she wanted to trick Edward since day one, you know that very well. She wanted to create a family with him so he could have had kids from her, and if the kid was a boy, that was the most amazing news for her, because he could have become the new king, and she would have always had a privileged status or a privileged position inside of this royal family. But now we see also the decadence of Elizabeth, because she's seeing that another woman is trying to trick her husband, not in the same way as she did, but almost. That means with leisure, with the pleasure and the sinful thoughts. So we see that Elizabeth this time is paying for her husband's choice. And I think that everything will turn upside down. I mean, that cake that we saw that was full of blood, because when wine reached it, it was like a bad omen, a bad sign, a bad prediction that something bad was about to happen regarding George. You all know that because at the beginning of this episode, you already see that between Edward and George, there is no more that relationship that was there in the previous part. So we see that these two brothers are already going one against the other one, especially because George is drunk. Recently, he's drinking a lot. We see that that sign is an anticipation of what will happen. In fact, now the main problem of the York family, in their opinion, is George, because they think that he's going to attempt on Edward's life, as much as we know that unfortunately he was giving the wrong medicine to Isabel, and that's why Isabel now is dead. So I think that George is having a bad treatment right now, because he was the one who saved Edward against Warwick, etc., etc., and now, as you can see, it happens in 1 second and this person is turning into the enemy. It all depends on the people who are suggesting the king. And as I was telling you many times, I don't like this Edward because he is always so fragile. He doesn't even know how to rule in the proper way. He is well convinced by people who are just going to trick him so easily that he's going to lose his mind so easily at the same time. Edward is corrupted by this witch. He is always believing everything that she's saying, and he is trusting her as much as he trusted his wife for the same reason, just because he sometimes needed a mistress and he didn't even care about cheating on his wife deliberately. I have to say that kings at that time, they were like this. They had lots of mistresses, and even if they were married, they didn't have care about cheating on their wives. And on the contrary, even wives, I mean queens, they didn't have any problems to have some lovers in their life, because it was pretty easy. Their life were pretty boring, so they needed something to be excited about. Let's see what's going to happen now, because I hope Richard is going to solve the situation, solve this problem. I think that George will be spared, and in this case Edward is going to have a bad faith. That's what I believe. And once again, even in this episode, you detect the fact that superstition and beliefs are the most important things to follow. In fact, that was symbolizing a omen or a bad anticipation of something that could have happened later. Then you see even this theme of the witches. It was a pretty contested at that time. In fact, the witches, they were burned alive. But they were also playing the role of these mystic or unknown things, exotic things that most of the times kings or queens, they were interested in, because it was something unknown. It was something that it was not easy to explain. But we saw even that these rituals, thanks to these voodoo doll that were used in order to put inside of this doll, or to incorporate inside of them, all the pain, all the suffering that these wishes granted to these royal families, or in general to people they didn't like. It's pretty realistic in this case too, and at the same time I really hope that Edward is going to open his eyes once for all, because his life was a trick since day one. I mean, since the day he became the king, his life was just something fake, something to show others, but that was not reflecting the reality of things. Last but not least, Anne. I feel so sorry for her, because she's the only female character in this story that can have a relevance, and I really hope that in the future, at this point, Richard is going to solve everything. And as we saw, the sort of a crown, that sort of a cake that he was handling, even at the end of the episode, that was without any sort of blood, makes you understand that if we follow this superstition and these beliefs, Richard is going to become the king, and Anne probably will become the queen. So if that's the end of this story, I really like that, because Anne deserves a lot. I think Anne sacrificed her life, but she was never mean, and she really deserves a place in this royal family more than others, definitely. But you see that now the boy she had in the previous episode, we understood that she was pregnant, and this boy is Edward's boy. And you see that he definitely resembles him. So it's not Richard's boy, because Richard has never touched her. And we understand how respectful she was in all these circumstances. And now he's playing the role of the dad in front of this new Edward. Let's see what's going to happen, because I think that at the end of the day, Richard is going to become the king. But he will be a different king. A king that is detaching himself or herself from his or her dad, his or her brothers, something different. And I really hope so at the end of the day, because we saw that, look, even this voice that is still installed into Richard's mind of this dad who wants to trick Richard, who wants to corrupt mentally Richard, and who tries to manipulate his or her thoughts based on the circumstance. Even when this voice of the father was saying, oh, look, this is paradise, no. That's just an orgy, and this is something that has to be punished sincerely. At that time it was like this. These sort of things were happening, and they were pretty disgusting, but even nowadays they are happening, so this is not something so different. But we see that Richard, at that time when he was trying to be convinced too, was saved by Buckingham. Look, Buckingham reminds me a little bit of a Warwick, sincerely, who is always standing next to the king, and maybe even Buckingham has his own desires. And at this point I prefer Gatsby, because I think Gatsby is pretty loyal, and he doesn't even want orders. He's doing this from his heart, and because he really cares about Richard. He made a promise since the beginning, and now he wants not to break it. And I think that Gatsby will be his or her loyal shoulder once he or she will become the queen or the king. No, in this case the king, because Anne will become the queen. But I really hope that something like this is happening, because if we go on like this, England can't be ruled by this House of York. I think another war is about to happen, or something is going to happen. Maybe this boy that Anne had from Edward, the Lancastrian Edward, is going to discover who killed his real father. I mean, in the future, maybe he is going to discover that Richard is not his real father, that his father was dying because of the House of York. Richard was the one who killed his father, his real father. So maybe there will be a rebellious new Edward who's going to go against the House of York once again. And let's see what's going to happen, because we know that this war is endless, so I don't think that now the House of York will rule till the end. I think that something else is about to happen, but I mean, maybe the House of Lancaster is going to take the throne once again, and then Richard is going to be the last one. So at the end of the story, we will see that Richard is going to become the king and Anne is becoming the queen. Maybe. But as you can see, especially at that time, it was so easy to believe some strangers or some people who were trying to influence this royal family, and this makes you understand that even the relationships inside these royal families were not so powerful, were not so intense, but they were just a mere relationship that they were having in front of everyone to play the role of the beautiful royal family who's trusting each other, who's having a great bond and whatsoever, when at the end of the day these bonds they were not even starting and they were just a surface. Yeah. Okay guys, I think that for this episode that is it. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned because next week I come back with episode 14 of Baraou no Souretsu, Requiem of the Rose King. In the meantime, feel free to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Bye guys, see you in the next video.